It's the Brian and Kindra Show with Brian Cook and Kindra Cox of Keller Williams Realty Elite.
I am Kendra Cox.
I'm Brian Cook.
Between the two of us, we have over 30 years of experience.
Sharing real estate tips and advice. Right here on Classic Hits 1073.
Hey, it's Brian Cook with the Brian and Kindra Show with...
Kendra Cox with Keller Williams Realty Elite.
Yes.
Yes.
Guess what I left?
Did you lose something?
Yes.
What'd you lose? What are you doing?
Start the show with statistics.
Oh my gosh, you left your statistics. Branson, like for reals, like 10 minutes before 5, Brian was running around the office and he's like, I gotta get new music. Did he send you music?
No,
he
didn't.
I was going to, but I didn't get it sent.
He totally had music ready.
Okay.
He was queued up, ready, set to go, because he thought that he was going to have special music to lead into his market statistics.
Yes.
I can't even say
market
it.
statistics.
What?
Next week?
Next week. Actually,
No.
I'm going to do it. I got it.
He doesn't need intro music. Branson,
We're
don't
sing
take
it.
sides, man.
Oh.
Can we? That'll be fun. Okay,
Okay.
You've got them all memorized because your brain works like that?
Yes. I
Funny
think so.
story.
Okay.
Okay, so in my phone, like whenever I accidentally type your name, it always comes out Brain.
Yeah, I thought you fixed that, surely.
Well, today I type to my friend, to one of my BFFs, whenever I was going to meet her, I said, I'm sorry, I totally forgot which restaurant we were going to. That's right. And then I said, instead of saying Brian, I misspelled it and said, my Brian isn't functioning. Totally jacked up.
That's just
So,
kinda
all right.
true.
All right, Brian. Yeah, Brian malfunctions all the time.
Yes.
Okay, Brian, let's hear it. What do you
Okay,
got?
so last week we had 71 listings. This week we have 73 active listings. So we've actually picked up a couple of listings. There were we had 0 expired or withdrawn residential listings this week, which is weird, and we had 11 new listings. So, and then we closed 6, and we put 5 under contract. So basically still staying even with last week, this evening. We're still staying even, like we're still listing what we're selling. So last week was a little bit weird, but this week we're still back on track. It felt a little slower this week.
You think? Did you really just say that?
Well, as in, I felt like I don't think I went out and showed as many houses as I usually do.
You really didn't? I don't know. I know this. I know that we've written more contracts this week than we wrote last week. And,
yeah, that's right.
I really thought I was getting the day off tomorrow because I worked so much. And no.
Well,
No,
day
I'm
off
not.
as in we're going to go show houses in Oklahoma City, which would be kind of fun. But
No, I really thought when that canceled, I was going to get the day off. And then,
you told me to
tricked
book
me.
an appointment.
gosh.
That's
Anyway.
whose fault is that?
Oh, whatever. Okay, so anyway, but we are busy. I get to show houses tonight. I think you're showing property tonight too, aren't you?
Yep.
You're doing something.
Yep, headed to Fargo and then Shattuck.
So, good stuff. All right, so what else have you got for us?
That is just that's all I got.
I started to say next week we're going to have, and then I remembered, I forgot to text you. I wanted to have on next week.
Oh, shoot.
I know, doggone it.
Well, we got several potentials lined
We've
up.
got some exciting things coming up, and so we really want to make sure that everybody understands how much we love Woodward, and so we really want to do some things to promote our community. And so we have somebody in mind, but I forgot to double check and make sure that her calendar was open. So, all right,
Fun stuff.
what's next? You're like really worried that we're going to run out of time today.
We're not. So let's get after it.
Get after it.
Yes.
All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about how we price homes whenever we put them on the market. So, Branson, I wanted to go ahead and ask you first.
Okay.
Do you know how we price homes whenever we put them on the market to sell them? Come on, give me your best guess.
Do you guys use the little spinny wheel thing?
Yes!
Take it out? Is that how it works?
We have one in the office. It's so fun.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, we
we
just
just-
put a whole bunch of different numbers on, then we spin the wheel,
wheel.
and we're like, oh, that's
Yes,
it.
that's a great price.
Perfect.
Yes.
That's not true.
Yeah, that might not work
Okay,
very well.
No.
Um,
What's other things that we've
well,
heard people
we've heard
say?
people say, I asked my neighbor. My neighbor said my house was worth $2.7 billion. And
Yes.
like, well, where'd your neighbor get his numbers? Well,
He just thought it sounded
he
right.
used the spinny wheel.
All right, what else have we heard? Have you heard any other fun ones?
Oh, man.
I think the hardest one that we come across is, but I put this much money into my house, and so
Yeah.
I feel like that's what it should be worth.
Right. So,
And so,
for those people, I have a 1970 Cougar for sale. that I've got about $19,000 in, and it's
Yes.
book value's only $5, but I've got $19,000 in it, so I want my $19,000 back. So
Right,
that's what I'm going to put it
absolutely.
on the market for.
I think you have a Suburban in our parking lot like that
Yes,
too, don't
exactly
you?
the same. Yeah, but I'm getting some miles out of that sucker. But
All right,
Yes.
so we're kind of we're making jest of these, and obviously people don't really say these things, but we know that sometimes whenever we share at the price that we think, I'm sorry, I totally just got sidetracked again. We know that sometimes whenever we share the values that we find for a property whenever we're listing it, we know that it can be shocking to a seller, and it's not always a pleasant shock. And so we wanted to talk about that and just kind of give you the science and the math behind what we do and why we do it and how we do it.
yeah, and so for example, we'll take a quick commercial break in just a second. But I was talking to a guy, called me yesterday, zipping through the parking lot, dropping off some paperwork at the office, and he goes, "Hey, by the way, if you can get what Zestimate says, Zillow says my house is worth, you can sell it any day." And I'm like, yeah, I bet it's way out there. And it was.
I can't wait to talk about Zestimate.
It was about $50,000 off, but yeah.
Can't
So we'll
wait.
get into that. We're going to talk. There's like 4 or 5 methods. We'll tell you what we've done and what we build, and we'll get into that pretty quick. But let's take a quick commercial break.
All right, let's do it.
Comfort Zone is a multi-generational company serving Northwest Oklahoma in commercial and residential needs: plumbing, air conditioning, heaters, refrigeration, sewer and drain cleaning, backhoe trencing, and crane service. And they are your geothermal specialists. Contact them at 580-254-5864 or stop by 116 East Main Street.
It's the 5 hours you spend in the kitchen mastering your famous recipe or spending quality time with your family. Other insurance companies may just see it as a house. It's not just a house, it's your home. Hi, I'm State Farm Agent Kevin Kanzler, and I see your home as the time and memories you put into them. I understand what your things really mean to you, and I'm here to help give them the protection they deserve. My office is located on the corner of 13th and Oklahoma in Woodward, or call me at 580-256-2216 for your home insurance today.
OnPoint Land Survey can take care of all your residential, commercial, and industrial survey needs. This family-owned and operated business proudly serves Northwest Oklahoma and Southwest Kansas. These lifelong Northwest Oklahoma residents with over 19 years of experience are ready to serve you with the latest equipment and capable trucks to get your job done. Call OnPoint Land Survey today at 580-256-6757 or at 1918 Main Street in Woodward, Oklahoma, or visit their website at onpointlandsurveyok.com. Professional, trusted, local.
This is Todd McHugh
And Jackie Jones.
with Woodward County Abstract, Dewey County Abstract, and Fairview Abstract. I would like to thank everyone in Woodward and Northwest Oklahoma for choosing us for their real estate title and closing needs this past year. We will be offering new services in 2020, including bilingual closings, internet closings, and digital abstracting.
We look forward to making real estate closings faster, simpler, and more efficient for you in the future.
We want to thank you for your continued support and business.
Hey, we are back, and we have got a load of information today. So number one, we're going to talk about ways that we use to price your house. This is Brian and Kindra with the Brian and Kindra Show. We're with Keller Williams Realty Elite here in Woodward, Oklahoma. And
I feel like this is payback for last week whenever I talked too much, and now
and
you're
then we
like,
talk
I am
about-
not going to
we've
let
got-
Kindra talk.
yes, so come by our location at 1003 Oklahoma Avenue. We got a really cool website, thebrianandkindrashow.com. You can also catch us at briancook.kw.com.
Oh, now it sounds like the Brian Show again.
SeeMeForHomes.com. We got a lot of them. And I have a really new fun marketing tool we're going to be playing with soon. I'm sure you will be seeing it around town. The 4 types of ways people price, or 4 ways that people get a price on their home. So I'm going to go through them real quick. Number 1, automated valuation model, a comparative market analysis, a broker price opinion, and a home appraisal. That's a bunch of
Yeah, okay.
big words.
So let's talk about the AVM, the automated value. I didn't know what you were going to say. That was a bunch of, and I was getting nervous.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so automated valuation model. That is a mouthful. Actually, I'd never really heard that term. Like you said it today, and I'm like, what are you even saying?
Yes.
We don't use
We
this
don't use
term.
that.
But it's important for people
But
to
if I
understand.
said Zestimate,
Yeah, so let's
everybody
talk about the
knows.
Zestimate.
so that's what a Zestimate is. Automated. It's an automated valuation method.
Okay, so is
model.
a Zestimate, is an AVM accurate?
It can be, but more than likely. In fact, I read a statistic that says in their goal is to be within 4.5%, but in some markets they're up to 20 and 30% off.
I would say so. So one of the things that I found in the past, and I don't pay as much attention to this now as I did, but some years ago, whenever I lived on 11th Street, I wasn't working for you. I was competing against you, actually. And you had come to, our daughters are friends, and you'd come to pick up my daughter or drop her off or something, I don't know. And I'm like, hey, I think I'm going to sell my house. What do you think I should sell it for? Because that's what we do. Like, behind the scenes, I'm like, what do you think? Because it's hard to judge your own property, right?
Yes.
And the number I had in my head was substantially lower than the number that you gave me.
Mm-hmm.
And both of our numbers were substantially higher than my Zestimate. My Zestimate was showing what I purchased my property for. And Woodward's market had improved. And my house did sell for your number. Thanks, that was awesome.
You're welcome. It's that number brain.
It is that number brain.
So the one thing I try to explain to people on that is a Zestimate, basically, if you can imagine just pinpointing a house in the middle of town. So what's weird about Woodward is we have, we'll just take Wheat Ridge Edition.
Mm-hmm.
We have $50,000 houses in Wheat Ridge, and we have $200,000 houses. Actually, like $230,000. I think there's a $230,000 house in Wheat Ridge. So what they do is they just pinpoint, like, okay, on my little 1,100 square foot house in Wheat Ridge, they just take the average of the last sold homes within 1 mile, and they just average it, and that spits out a number. So probably in the
why
middle.
is that bad?
Well, in the middle of Wheat Ridge might be okay,
Mm-hmm.
but if you're at 22nd and Hanks Trail, and then you roll in, you have a 1,200 or 1,300 square foot house there, and then you roll in South Fork, Wildwood, and there's a couple of mobile homes on Richmond Road. Like, you roll all those averages in, that ain't even going to be close.
And I think even adding to that, when we're going to see some of this, I think, unfortunately, probably we're going to see more of this.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to add in those things that are distressed properties, and we would not use a distressed property necessarily against a non-distressed property. By distressed, what do I mean?
Bank-owned, family health issues, and they've let their house, kind of slide in value. A rental property.
Mm-hmm.
So any of those properties that would need a lot of repair, I guess, that are maybe the owners can't maintain.
So this estimate pulls in all these different sales. They are not specific.
A family transfer, where you might
Mm-hmm.
sell it cheap. They'll
Right.
drag that in.
Right. Grandma doesn't want to charge me full price, and
Right.
that's nice of Grandma.
Yeah.
I love Grandma best.
Or charge you twice as much. So
That's probably the truth. I might be the black sheep. I don't know. Anyway, okay, so next up, what would be another way that we might price a property?
So the order we went in are the cheapest. So obviously you can get online and get your estimate. There's also other places that give you free home numbers just by spitting in your address. But we do a.
Can I interrupt? Because I
You're
know that you
good at
love
that.
it whenever. Rude. Okay, so I'm interrupting because these were in order. So the automated valuation model is the cheapest way to price.
Free.
It's a free. It's a free. I can't even.
It's free.
Okay, thanks. It's a free model to price your property, but it's also the least accurate. So these are not only from cheapest to most expensive, but they're also least accurate to most accurate.
Correct.
Okay. All right, moving on. We're going to talk about my favorite.
Comparative market analysis.
Yes, why is that my favorite?
And this is generally what we do, a
what we
lot
do.
of. And so we have spent
I was supposed to do one of these today.
years. We've spent years tweaking and editing, and we've done lots of numbers on values so we basically still use Excel. So they've got all kinds of cool programs for this.
But we have Allura.
We have Allura. And so like we have RPR, which is a realtor resource program. Our Paragon, which is our MLS system, also does them. But we know the difference, like the location difference, and so we have specific categories inside of our CMA to justify for location, condition, some functionality issues, like you have a weird, like the house that we might have viewed today, that's functionality is a little awkward, like the ceiling's like 7 foot in one end and 6.5.
The comment was made, this is great if you're short.
Yes.
So I was okay.
Yeah, and that has 3 garages and an apartment, and it's all on a little bitty tiny lot. So there's some so that house's functionality is weird, not weird. I mean, there's the guy that's buying it is perfect for, but for so go back to we've got a functionality code, and then we value attached garage, detached garage differently, age of the home differently. So we have all of that stuff, and we do, and we have tweaked it and tweaked it and tweaked it. And so when something pops up, we sometimes go to the back page and Lord us and edits like, hey, we don't think it's given us enough discount for being in a flood zone, or it's not giving us credit for this style of shop or garage if we have a detached garage. So we even classify them from a basic pole barn to a steel erected, insulated, full built building. So
to simplify and clarify what you're saying.
Yes.
We do some similar things that an appraiser does, some similar things that maybe the AVM does, or the BPO that we're going to talk about in a minute. We find similar properties that have sold and similar properties that are listed. So we want to see what the property is going to be competing against, but we want to compare it as close as possible to things that have sold that are just like it. So we want to try to find the same neighborhood. If we can find 3 comps on Wheat Ridge, that's what we want to do. Right. But if we can't, then we find other neighborhoods that would be similar to Wheat Ridge. And we want them to be recent. So, if we can find 3 comps in 90 days, awesome. Yep. If not, we keep it to 6 months.
Easy.
Yeah, that would be beautiful.
Yes.
That doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen.
Anyway, okay, so that's what a CMA is, and I think that kind of simplifies that a little bit. Do you want to add to that anymore?
I think that's it. That's the main. I'm not even on that page. I just made all that up.
I
not
don't
really.
know what to
We
say
do
to that.
We do that every day. I don't have to make that up.
Okay.
So, but it is not an appraisal. And if you do a CMA and I do a CMA and Branson does a CMA, will they be the same?
No, absolutely not.
So every time, it all comes.
Branson's, he's gonna nail it.
And so he's going to cheat and look at his estimate first. No.
Branson, would you look at this estimate if you're going to do a CMA with us?
I probably would.
Yes.
Right now, you're
Probably
super
shouldn't,
excited and curious. You absolutely want to go and do a CMA with us, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you do. Because it's fun. It's way fun. Just to be honest, I look at this estimate too. I don't give it any weight. It doesn't have any bearing whenever I do my CMA, but I want to see what I want to see what the seller's looking at.
Yes.
I want to see what a buyer's looking at, and then I want to be able to justify why my number might be different. So actually, I look at this estimate too.
Yeah.
I just also stick my tongue out at it and say,
Yes.
you're stupid. Okay, that's not true. I don't want to do that.
So, but in Oklahoma City, I was looking at houses down there 6 or 8 months ago in Yukon, in this massive neighborhood. Well, that's estimate down there. It's pretty close because
they have all
it's
the
a
comps.
massive. It's a 1,000-house neighborhood, which all of Woodward is like a neighborhood that's diverse. So,
okay. So next up after a CMA. Oh, I'm sorry, I missed something. Is a CMA an appraisal?
CMA is not an appraisal.
It is not an
I said
appraisal.
that, but the next one is a BPO. But we're going to talk about the difference between a CMA and appraisal when we get to appraisals.
Yes. Okay.
A BPO.
A broker price opinion.
Yes. So it's funny is it's an opinion, but so is an appraisal, and so is a CMA.
They're all opinions.
They're all
aren't they?
opinions. So a broker price opinion.
But they're not just like this opinion that I just pull out of the air. These are educated guesses.
Wow. Okay.
Man.
So
there you go. My brain worked this time.
So a broker price opinion, and they're a lot more detailed. They have a lot more blanks to fill in. In fact, sometimes I feel like, why are they asking all these stupid questions? Like, the house is worth $75,000. Why do I have to prove it 94 times? So, but they ask for specific, that you have to justify more in detail why you said it's got a negative functionality score or its location.
And it wants you to verbally, I don't know if that's the right word. It really wants a good explanation of why you said that something was a valuable subject or comparable to the subject. So it wants to know it's in the similar neighborhood and it has a similar pride of ownership, or this is similar but it's not. And it really wants you to detail out with verbiage why you use the comps you use. And our CMAs, we're really more number focused. Would you agree with that?
Yes, absolutely.
But again, we have a Laura.
Yes. Yes. So the BPO, that's what it is. And most of the time we don't see those, and we don't hardly ever even do those unless we're doing a relocation or a foreclosure. Right.
We see them most with foreclosures and the relocations. Now, occasionally, we talked about this in the office. I said, that's all I've ever seen. And you said you have done a BPO before for a lender. You want to tell us a tiny bit about that? Amanda has asked if what do lenders use, for example, in refinancing when an appraisal is not done? And Connie with Bank 7 was quick to say, well, usually they do an appraisal, and that's absolutely true.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, most of the time, a lender is going to do a full-blown appraisal.
Right.
But if they don't, they might do the BPO.
Right, which is, I think some local banks here in town can do a
Unlike an
BPO.
in-house loan,
Right,
probably.
in-house type loan. They just want a realtor or an appraiser to just run by and give because us as realtors, we're not licensed appraisals. We can give values.
Mm-hmm.
That's part of our job, but we can't do an official appraisal form. So we can do an official BPO.
Right.
Which is about the same thing. But so yes, we will. Okay, so foreclosures, and so like a foreclosure person, they're never going to come see it. In a BPO, they're less paperwork than an appraisal, and they're $50 to $150. So obviously, a foreclosure company may send out 2 or 3 realtors and get 2 or 3 opinions.
Right.
For the same price as an appraisal, and then they've got 3 opinions instead of 1 opinion, even though an appraisal costs more money and has more detail to it.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's bounce into home appraisals. So a home appraisal is almost every time. When you sell a home, then you do an appraisal. After you do contracts, and then the lender.
Usually. So a lot of times we'll have people call the office and they ask if we have somebody that does appraisals. And whenever we ask more questions, we find that they're really wanting to find the right price to list their home at. And so we talked to them a little bit further at that point. Most people don't want to pay the fee to have an appraisal. Most people understand that our CMAs have enough value that we can list a property based off of our CMA. That remember a while ago whenever I was teasing Branson about how we might price properties, we do hear a lot of our sellers say, well, my house appraised for this number back in 2015. And when they say 15, I always panic because 15 was a very high market. And our market today is not as high as it was in 2015. And it reminds me, remember when we had Matt, I just forgot Matt's name, Matt Stomprud. When he was on and talked about appraisals with us, he said an appraisal is only as good as the day that it's done. Because the market change, it ebbs and flows, ups and downs. And we certainly see that in Woodward. It's a very fluid market. And so I think that that's really important to remember. So what's next?
So in a appraisal, they will do like 3 or 4 different variations in one report. So they'll do a market appraisal, cost appraisal, which verifies the cost, and then they'll do an income appraisal. So like an income approach, like if it's a rental property. So, and then they'll do market cost. Oh, there it is, cost. I said cost twice. I was thinking of the bill to replacement. So they have a replacement, but that is the cost, or what it would cost to replace it. So they'll do kind of a 3. And they'll break it down, like say what the value of the lot is, what's the value of the structure, age, depreciation. They'll go into all of that stuff inside of their appraisal. And appraisals sometimes are 30, 40 pages long. I mean, a estimate is one number, CMA is a page, BPO is a couple of pages,
right.
And an appraisal is 30 or 40 pages.
Right.
And they put they put maps and drawings and distance from each property, and they have to justify even more than a BPO does.
Absolutely. So, did you hit very much on, I think you did. I think I was listening again. You mentioned...
Interrupting and not listening.
This is what I'm really good at, you guys. Okay, so I want to go back to the appraisal. So we don't need to have an appraisal before we list a property.
Nope.
I think that's really important because the appraisal definitely has its value. And there are times that you need an appraisal before you list a property. But just generally speaking, if I want to sell my house, I can just get a CMA. Do you agree?
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
So I want to define. I'm going to clarify my opinion on the difference between an appraisal and a CMA. So I think I'll get shot for this probably, but an appraisal, in my opinion, not in my opinion, is really kind of to prove a value. Like,
right.
So that's not what they say it is. They say they're appraising to give a value. But generally, we've had them come in high, we've come in low, we've come right on the number. And so when we write a contract, and then they prove the value. Now, if we sell a $400,000 house for $500,000, it probably won't price that high. And we've had lots of them, not lots, we've had several come in low because they couldn't prove the value.
Right.
In a CMA, we're going out to find market value and set the market value of your house. So we want it to sell. We want it to sell quick. Here's the goal. Here's where it should sell in today's market. So that's the difference.
You just said something that I've heard a lot of people push back on. You said we want it to sell quick. Why do we want it to sell quick? I mean, do you price it low so it sells fast?
Yes, no.
Because we've heard that. We've heard
Yes.
buyers and sellers say that. Oh, well, you got to be careful. They don't want to price it too low because, I mean, what I'm saying that backward. You don't want it to sell so badly that you price it too low. We've heard that.
Yes.
So I think this is my favorite example. A year and a half ago or whatever, I sold my car. Do you remember?
Yes.
And I mean, I did numbers. I think you did numbers on my car too, didn't you?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I mean, I really felt like I priced it right.
Yep.
And then immediately, like I think I posted it at 6:30. I was on my way home from the gym and I had to get fuel, and I was like, oh, I think I'll just post it real quick. I had the car sold and money in my hand by like 9:30 a.m. that morning. So within 3 hours, the car sold, and the guy left, and I went, did I price it right? And you do you remember what you said?
I don't.
You said yes, because it sold. And I think that there's a lot of value to that, to the idea of that.
Yep.
And I do think that my car was priced right, the same way that we price these houses, and then they sell quickly.
Yeah.
Because
Our
we
goal
have
is-
the numbers to back it up. And we want our sellers to walk away with as much as possible.
Yes.
We do. And we want everybody to win.
We want everybody to win. So we kind of, when we do our numbers, we even tell people, it's like, okay, this is what we think it'll sell for in a 30 to 90 day window.
Right.
Like, and then we want it to compete, and we want it to be hardcore, and we want it to be, wow, we ran out of time. We tried real hard to get it to where it prices where it will sell. Our goal is sell in 30 to 90 days. I mean, we want to sell like
Right.
tomorrow, because it lessens the pain of the seller. It lessens the pain of it's the less money we have to spend on marketing, setting showings. It's a lot easier.
There's less risk involved with selling it
Yes.
quickly for the seller, I believe.
Yep. Well, let's take a quick commercial break.
All right, let's do it.
Homeowners and business owners, do you want to know how to extend the life of your home or commercial building? Call APC LLC in Woodward. APC specializes in installing high-quality 5-inch and 6-inch seamless guttering and custom commercial guttering. Whether it's a small system or a large system, APC can help. Call APC LLC at 580-571-2384. That number again is 580-571-2384 for all your seamless gutter needs.
Our home is usually our largest investment, and we insure it against damage. One unseen destructive force not covered by most insurance policies is termites, which can infest a house for years before being detected. Termites cost U.S. homeowners an estimated $5 billion annually in treatment and repairs. Using the Centricon termite bait system, JCP Services can protect your home from the threat of a termite infestation. Call 580-334-5380. Again, 580-334-5380.
Stop in to Modern Appliance on Main Street today to see powerful Maytag brand kitchen appliances available in a finish inspired by cast iron. Cast iron black is a hard-working, matte finish that is as tough as it is timeless, so you can trust it to help resist scratches while helping hide fingerprints and minor dents and stand up to the everyday. Add an iconic look to your home with cast iron black kitchen appliances from Maytag brand. See it at Modern Appliance, 2102 Main, or online at modernappliancewoodward.com.
For 150 years, Sherwin-Williams has been an industry leader in the development of technologically advanced paint and coatings. As the nation's largest specialty retailer of paint and painting supplies, Sherwin-Williams is dedicated to supporting both your do-it-yourselfers and painting professionals with exceptional products, resources to make confident color selections, and expert personalized service that's focused on your unique project needs. Sherwin-Williams is your neighborhood paint store. Stop by and see them, 2101 Oklahoma Avenue, or call them 580-256-5861. This is Brian Cook again with the Brian and Kindra Show, and we're going to blow through all of our sponsors because we couldn't do this show.
Absolutely
It's
not.
harder to do it without all our sponsors. And so Bank 7,
We can do our jobs without our sponsors.
we can do that, but it's not as fun.
No, we really couldn't do our jobs without
But we
these
couldn't
people.
do it.
No,
Yes,
we could
correct.
not.
I thought okay. So Bank 7, their best investment is you. NMLS number 677297. Woodward County Abstract. We had some closings this week. They did a great job. Comfort Zone. They always take care of us, jumping through hoops to get hot water. We got a hot water heater through on 22nd Street. Kevin Cancer switched my insurance this week. When I sold my Corvette, I cried a little. But my daughter's really happy with her new convertible Camaro. On Point Land Surveys doing some surveys for us. APC, I talked to him today. He does not want to be on the radio, so I'm going to harass him. We'll get him on here. JCP is our pest guy. Sherwin-Williams does a great job with their paint, and Modern Appliance takes care of us all our appliance things. So we appreciate everything you guys have done. Thanks for listening, and we will see you next week.
Absolutely.
Your new favorite, Classic Hits 107.3 KLSI Moreland Woodward. Tell a friend.